Hi, I'm Amanda and welcome to the Hot Plate. Today we're making black cherry French toast. Toast is such a brunch staple, but in the summer it's important that we start to take advantage of some of those beautiful seasonal ingredients. That's why we're using cherries for this one. So we've got our beautiful cherries here, and then the other tip to make sure that this is a healthy protein-packed dish is that we have our black cherry Chobani Greek yogurt. Now I love this because it's got no fat, but it's got a lot of sweetness, which means that we can take out almost all the sugar from that original French toast recipe. For our other ingredients, we have a little bit of cinnamon. We've got 1 loaf of country white grain bread, but if you're looking for another healthy kick, you could definitely pick a whole grain variety. We've got 2 eggs, some unsalted butter, half a cup of skim milk, some of those beautiful cherries I was talking about, and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. Now we're going to start by making our cherry sauce, and then we'll be moving over to our French toast. Our cherry sauce for our French toast is just a simple combination of cherries with sugar. The process is called macerating, and it means that the cherry's natural juices are going to be drawn out by the sugar. To help us pit the cherries, a trusted friend gave me a cherry pitter for my 20th birthday a few years back, so we're going to be using that. So we just have to remove the stem, and we're going to pop the cherry into the top here. Just going to push down, and the pit pops right out. It is the best tool. Once we have our pitted cherry, we'll just slice it in half and toss it into our other bowl. So we're going to just continue to pit and slice the cherries, and then we're going to be ready to add our sugar. To finish up our cherries, all we have to do is add in the sugar and then set it aside. So we're going to pour in our sugar, and then we're just going to give it a little stir to make sure that they're completely coated. And once we've done that, we just are going to sit them aside while we make the French toast and just give them a stir every 10 minutes or so until we're ready to eat them. Now it's time to start our French toast mixture, and what I love about this is that we're getting that added creaminess that you would from a sour cream based French toast, but without all that fat and with added protein. So we'll start by adding in about a cup of our black cherry Chobani Greek yogurt. And then we'll add to that our half cup of milk just to thin it out a bit to make sure that we can coat it. Our cinnamon and our 2 eggs. Now if you're looking to cut down the fat even further, you could just use egg whites, but the egg yolks give this such a beautiful color and golden richness when we're done cooking. Perfect. So we're going to give this a little stir to make sure it's completely combined. So we're all mixed in, and now it's time to get our bread slices ready. Now my trick for French toast is thick slices. So we are going to cut on the diagonal so we get some nice, rich, thick slices. All right, about 1 inch thick. So now we're going to add one at a time into our batter, and what you want to make sure you do is you let it sit for about 20 seconds aside. We don't want it to be any more or else it'll get too wet. So we've got a nice even coating on both sides. It's starting to absorb in the middle. You can feel it gets a little squishy. Now we're going to move over to our pan and preheat it to medium-high heat with about 2 tablespoons of butter while I keep dipping our bread in our French toast sauce. Now that our butter is all melted, we're going to add our French toast into the skillet. I only have enough room for 2 of our 4 pieces, so we're going to cook these in batches. I have the oven preheated to 200 degrees to make sure that they stay toasty warm while we finish cooking the rest. French toast needs to cook for about 5 or so minutes aside before we flip it over to make sure that our egg batter is completely cooked through. So our French toast is all done and it's time to garnish. Now one of my favorite garnishes for French toast actually is yogurt. So we're going to go ahead and use some of that yogurt that we've already used in our marinade. So that's our black cherry Chobani yogurt. Just give it a little dollop. Then we have some of our cherries that we macerated that are getting all beautiful and soft, and they've got the juice in the bottom here. And then, because we're good Canadians, a little maple syrup. Oh, this looks so good. I cannot wait to try this. It's sweet, but it's got that really rich cherry flavor. The maple syrup gives it a sweetness, but we get a little bit of tartness from that Greek yogurt that we put on top. This is creamy, brunchy perfection. Thanks so much for checking out The Hot Plate. Make sure to check out this and all of our other episodes and recipes at thehotplate.com and all of our updates on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thehotplate.